Okay, here we go. We're going to talk about creating rooms that evoke a kind of emotion. I've made this simple demo room in Spoke and I'm loading it on my laptop. You can view this in a VR headset. I'll put a link in the comments below. This is just a demo. So what we're doing is we're following some principles that create senses of whatever emotion we're after. In this case, it's calm and serenity. So what this is based on, I'm just going to show you some slides. It's this area down the bottom right here, which is we're trying to evoke a positive valiance, which is a good feeling, no happiness kind of feelings, and negative arousal, which is calm. Positive arousal is excitement. So we are very much down here. So the colours we're looking at here are relatively cool. There's just sort of whitish walls and sort of quite neutral ceiling. There's nothing overly eye-catching and exciting about the colours. They're quite general, actually. Temperature is warm of the lighting. So we're going for very sort of orangey tones you can see around there. We're looking for indirect lightings, nothing's really shining at you. And we've got very simple objects, very nice round curves. You can see it in the walls here. Good amount of order. It's just quite as everything's in the right place. And the sort of ambient light is giving this kind of midday feel, so we can walk around and we can, feel it's quite nice. So yeah, I mean, this version is more about sort of a nighttime sort of scene. So you're getting ready for bed and just feeling just chilled. So that's the room. Now I'm going to go over here into Spoke and show you a bit about how I've done this. So here's the scene. You can see that's kind of evening time there. We can play with some variables here. So I said this is kind of like going to bed, chilled out evening thing. Skybox, 24 hours, no, midnight. If I bring this back to like 1700, you can see it's much lighter, much nicer, much brighter. So maybe that would be better, but that's a bit general. Hemisphere light is all to go with that. I tend to just leave this as it is for here. Ambient light's a really good one to move. So I said we're using warm colours. This is definitely a warm colour. If I was take it more to the blue spectrum, that there, you can see the box on the bottom, that's more of a blue kind of light. So you're just seeing here, the feeling in that room, just from seeing here, it's very different. Maybe if you want to reduce the intensity to maybe 1. Very different to what we're seeing here. So the warmness versus what we've got here, coldness. So I can pop that into warm because it's just quite nice and give me a little more intense. Okay, so what else we've done there? So we've got hemisphere light, we've got ambient light. Those are really, really key because the lighting redirects what kind of thing you're doing. The objects, they're all 90 degrees or orders, not very many there. Teddy bear's a soft object, makes you feel nice feelings. A rug, doing the same kind of thing. I'm going to take the skybox. Can I get luminance down a bit? Maybe I can reduce that. Hey, it doesn't really matter that much. Another thing I've got, which you can't see too clearly now, it's the kind of thing you see more when you turn it off, are the ceiling lights. So I've just got 3 lights here. I'm going to make them invisible. Straight away you'll see that the lighting changes. Turn it back on again, you can see that what's happening. Oh, lost our place in there. There. With that, the teddy bear is more illuminated. We are casting shadow. And again, we're using that warm light, indirect, nice light. These are actually placed in the ceiling. So they're hard to spot against the colours. You can just about see some yellow lines in there. But this is just pointing down, giving a nice fence again there. So what we're going to do in the next part is we're going to turn this scene into something a bit different. I think we should go to the opposite end of the spectrum. And rather than doing positive valiance, negative arousal, we should start doing negative arousal. So positive arousal, negative valence. So could we go the absolute opposite of this room and start creating quite intense emotions? These emotions we want to be picking up on fit into this idea about nervousness and stress. So if the scene we've just created is about being the bottom right here, about being relaxed and serene, which I think we did quite nicely, we're going to try and create stress and nervousness in the room just by playing with these simple elements. So let's go. So the first thing to start off is going to go back to my table here. There is a reference at the bottom of this page. You can see it's effective computing in virtual reality. I'm using these as lecture slides. So if you want to read the whole paper and learn more about this, that's the paper to read. Effective computing in virtual reality, emotion recognition for brain and heartbeat dynamics using wearable sensors. And what they did is they created a whole load of these virtual environments, which I've got over here. And so, well, what does this create? What feelings are people getting when they're having these rooms? And then they mapped all the feelings again. So what I'm going to try and do is recreate this top left room, which is like psychedelic, like nightmare psychedelics. I'm going to see what we can create. So let's go. So the first thing to do is look at what that creates. We've got high complexity and low order. So straight away, I can take my teddy bear and let's get this into a place. I can move him at a weird angle. I can tip over on his side. Teddy bear's lying through the floor. That is a bit scary. Let's see, where should he go? I think pull him down a little bit. I think that'll do. Make him a bit smaller as well. And the placement doesn't have to be too precise. I mean, that's good where we are right now. And the chair, I'm going to do the same kind of thing. So I'm going to go to my area over here. By the way, it's really good to group your things so that when you're working on it, it just fits together. My office chair, I'm going to again rotate it around in a weird way. I think there. And I'm going to knock him over on his side. Rotate him around again. Where do I want to be? Yeah, that'll do. So I'm trying to create the sense of things just aren't right. Things aren't nice. Desk, I'm going to rotate that round. That's rotating everything. Don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all these guys. This is more of a general tip getting right now. So grouping them where they are. And that group is here. And take that desk and pull that into the group. I'm going to right click, rename the group. Furniture. Cool. It's always good to name your group so you know what's in them. And I've got my desk. And I'm just going to turn this guy around. I think that's good. Can I do a bit of chaos with this actually? I think I can. Tilt the desk that way. Yeah, that's nice. I'm doing something which doesn't feel right to me. Let's go a bit further. Can I make it through almost go through the wall? That just feels a bit wrong. And my rug, I'll rotate this around. So I've not changed anything in the room. I've still got the same items, but now we've got a level of chaos. So the lighting, let's really change this around. We want to have very warm colours, but very bright, high intensity. So let's go to our hemisphere light. Let's kick this up at 5 candelabra. I'm here going to go for this. That is good. I do have some numbers in lecture slides that I use about what works, what's indoor lighting. You have lux and various bits. I use this generally as a qualitative measure. So I know that when you're a window, you have very, very high. And when you're in public area and dark surroundings, it's very, very low. And then just kind of go around and go, well, what does this feel like? Skybox, what time of day are we going to do? Let's try and get some really bright, high luminance, and can I get, what's the timing? 1700, 1800, 700 is good. Right. So straight away we're doing this, and I'm going to save this as different. And I'm going to go. I'm going to call, rather than stress, I'm calling it. Sorry, calm. I'm going to call it stress. So let's save the project. So now let's try and go and get some details. So we've got a color palette to work on, and it's this one up here, and I've pulled it out. That when you're in this kind of area, you're more kind of the blues, turquoise, and purpley rusty. So I'm trying to keep things simple and trying to make things work in a way which just happens to be okay. So let's see what we can find whilst adhering to this kind of top left image. Let's see what we've got for the floor. So I've got my floor. I'm going to select all my pieces. A second. I bet someone watching this is thinking, there's another way to select everything much faster. Why isn't he doing that method? I bet I'm going to discover it in 5 seconds as well. Anyhow, what you can do is these are just bits of architecture kit. They're nothing particularly special. You could make something in Blender and you could import it in, or you could take an image and import an image in and use the image as a floor. That's actually a really good idea. I should have done that, but I'm doing it the hard way of using architecture kit, which is built into Spoke, and it comes with a whole load of different options. So that one actually, I think that might work. That is giving me similar vibes. Brush cement. I think we've got such bright light that everything's looking crazy. That actually is what I want, because I'm really pushing for stress. This is something you very rarely do in design. You very rarely are pushing for really high stress. And now these white tiles, which are bouncing light off like crazy, my screen's looking white, that'd be quite good for positive valence, where white is a nice thing. We're looking for a bit more kind of, a bit more reddish. Concrete blocks. Yeah, that could work. So that works with the idea about warmth, because we do want warm colours but super intense. Now let's go for walls. Now, you see if I just select the group walls, it doesn't select the inside. So that's why I'm just going through manually, holding down Shift, selecting all of my walls. And that's why it's useful to put everything of one type into a group, because you know where it is. So I had plaster before. I want something a bit more, bricks, not really the right colour. Brushed cement, not really the right feel. I also know that I've got a few things I've not selected, so I'm just going to missed one or two out. Doing things manually in Spoke. Right. Let's choose something. Concrete, metal coated plaster. We had plaster before, so it's not that one. Satin paint. Scut aluminium. And if you're really smart, you'll see that I've got bits of wall which aren't being selected and aren't changing. So sometimes you've got to go through things and do it manually. So let's just do it this way. This is a much better way of doing it. Well done, Chris. Because now I can see what it's turning out like a little bit clearer. I'm going to make this a bit smaller. So it really is just, in this case, just going through and choosing something which generally kind of works. Concrete blocks, could that work? Concrete blocks on the floor and the wall. Maybe if I choose a different floor, which comes down to the idea of why didn't I import a picture and use that. Things you learn. Oh, that could work. What is that? Concrete tiles hex. Let's see, what kind of colour scheme are we in there? That takes us more into the depressed territory because of the browns, which I don't really want to do. Let's try and find another one. You can see the thought process here really is to get a quick prototype. Just get something and have a look. Reflect on, could this be giving me the feeling I'm looking for? At this rate, I might be doing that image version. I think, that actually does work. Does there a factory tile? Yeah, let's go for that. That does just about hit enough of the right pieces. So let's choose all these floor bits. And that's a thought. Do I want that to the wall? No, let's keep it as the floor. But I'm also going to make the ceiling that, because I quite like the craziness of it, because we really are trying to evoke stress and tension. Now, whilst I'm doing this, I'm going to do some talking. Why would we want to invoke stress and tension? We tend to think in a lot of design that it's all about positive emotions, and 9 out of 10 times you're going to be right. Oh yeah, that's stressful. But sometimes you want people to feel stressed. So if you're giving a story narrative, you could be jumping between worlds. And in these worlds, you just want, at one point, people to feel tense because you're hearing about someone's challenge. You're hearing about the adversity they're facing. You've got to make a decision, and you want them to empathize with the character, and that character is very stressed. So bringing in design elements. Here we go. There we go. That's quite good. Design elements that really make you feel stressed. Or actually is an example of good design is doing that. Now, is this perfect? No, this is just a demo. You can totally do much better in Blender. You got a lot more freedom to do stuff. You can choose what you're doing, direct your path much, much better. Yeah, here it is. But this is a demo. It's doing something where you don't need to have great skills. You can just jump in and do it very quickly and go, does this work? Now, it might be that what I'm doing here isn't enough, and it's not going to really get the right feeling. You'd know that through your evaluation. That's fine. Completely fine. You just have to go back and go, right, let's change it. Let's really push it up. Now, in my case, I'm going to double the intensity of the internal lights. Can I go for more? Can I go for 100? Yeah, that's nice and intense. I'm liking this. So I've not changed any elements. I've not put any extra lights in. I'm just going to go through here. I've just added bits. I want that teddy to be closer. Yeah, that feels better. Doesn't feel great. It's not meant to. You're meant to feel stressed. So going back to the theory, I'm at the top left here. So different color temperature, warmer colors than before, which we got with the reds, the higher bits. High intensity, we got that. Direct positioning straight at you. We haven't got much of that. We've got the rectangular elements. Now I would like to change the room and make a rectangle room and get rid of those curves. But in this case, I'm keeping it the same just to show that you can move things around. Things are more complex, there's less order. Let's see what I can do with the spotlights. Right. So you can see the spotlights there. It's not letting me change things. Let's It's saying that Mozilla's got control of my pointer. Don't know why it's had that. That's very odd. I don't know why it was working before. It's quite odd. Can I undo something stuff to go back and get control of that spotlight? Yeah. So it's moved them somewhere I didn't want them to be. So we see that this piece here is around the zeros. So I'm just going to 0, 0, 0, 0. I like it when things don't quite go right because you learn something new about controlling everything. So I'm just going to undo that. Okay. Okay. So it's quite difficult to see right now where the pointer is because the colours we're using. Normally you can spot things quite easily. I can just about see with my... Okay. There we are, right. Let's get that at -2, -0.8. Right, we're going to do all of these -0.8, -2. Can I hide my terrain? Doesn't really help. Hide my hemisphere light, which is quite... That might help see where things are going. I can't believe I've lost my lights. Right. I'm going to do a little grouping. I'm going to rename this lights. Okay, there we go. So let's get into this. 3 spotlights. There we are. Phew, we got there in the end. I just had to zero things up. So in the previous version, they were hiding in the ceiling. And we want just more direct light. So if you look at this example here, it really is everywhere. It's really in your face. So do we want to move them around? Do we want to do something strange with them? I think we're actually okay. I think there's enough kind of bouncing around. There's not sort of anything else. That's fine. But maybe I can rotate lights in an interesting way. Shoot lights in different directions slightly. So you see I'm hitting at the walls. I'll leave it at that. Right. We're going to call today with that. Apart from I'm going to just really ramp up the intensity to 200. Right. This is ridiculously intense on purpose because we're trying to get self-stressed. So I'm now going to save the project, upload it into the cloud, into Mozilla. Then we're going to take a look at it and see how it is. Okay, here we are in the room. And straight away, there's a different feel to it. I think that the floor mirroring the ceiling works pretty well. The chaos definitely is good. I think it could be more disorganized. I'm not feeling the walls. I think those could be better. I think having something kind of more stark coming out. And I think I could do that through lighting because I've still got the very warm colours. I think I could choose different colour of lighting. In a minute, I'll go back and change that. But straight away, the feeling in this room is very different to the first one. The first one was very serene. This is more, oh my God. And looking at this now, it's not overly comfortable. Putting this in VR, it's even less comfortable because you're fully immersed inside it. So that's just a way of doing things. One thing I've not talked about is sound. Now, sound is a really important part of the emotion in the room, but that's for a different video that I'm going to be doing at a different time. So very quickly, I'm going to use my reflection. I'm just going to close down that instance of hubs and go back to my spotlights. And if I go back to my lecture materials, we've got this kind of greenish grey. It's not a very pleasant colour. And can I steal that from a hex code? Yeah, I think I can. Yeah, here we are. That's hex code there. Using Keynote to its full potential. Right, yeah, that kind of works. Yeah, that makes it less pleasant. So definitely in the negative variance, but I'm going to really boost the intensity. Also, I'm going to take that more into this kind of greenish. Yeah, that's nasty. That's not nice one bit. I'm not liking that. Turn intensity down a bit. I think 300 is a bit too much. Yeah, that's kind of quite good. One nice thing about this, when I've got the lights in a weird place, like I was playing with before, it feels a bit chaotic with where the lights are. So I can turn the lights off. I can turn it on. So that's going to be the rear one. I probably should name the light a little bit better. Yeah, it's that middle one. Can I switch that light around a bit? More like so. Okay, that's got a bit more disorderly stuff. I could carry on doing things like this mirror. Let's just have maybe not do that. Maybe put this at a weird angle there. Do this. Yeah, that's quite nice. And let's move this lamp into a stupid place. Don't move that lamp there. And again, let's just turn this, knock it over into there, just floating in a place. Yeah, that's good. I'm liking this in a very what the hell have I done sort of way. That's definitely going to create a lot more stress and anxiety than I had before. So it's now a bit better, and I could keep running this through. You'll notice that a lot of the time I'm talking about feeling and gut. I'm not going by these exact numbers, even though they've got ones there. If I was doing this in Blender, I might be using these temperatures and lightings and luminance and lux to really give a better feel. But the thing about Spoke is that it's quick, it's powerful, it's getting the job done in a way that you can demo things and go, right, does this feel right? Is this good for a demo? It's a prototype, it's a sketch. And you see that what I've done now, by reflecting what I did, is better, is stronger. So I'm going to put links to these in the comments below, and you just follow this round. If I was going to make a different scene and make it into this more depressing area, I would leave the room as it is now, actually. I think the geometry of the room is working pretty well, even that weird lamp there. But I think that just changing the lighting would get me there. The walls could be better, but yeah, we're good. I think this is a good place to finish the video. It's been quite long. I hope you've learned something. I hope that you've got new superpowers to help create emotional states using visual parts of Spoke.